If your lead though disappears the moment you stop making content, then you're running content. You're not running a business. Today we're breaking down the exact 3-part marketing machine that helps coaches move away from referrals, random content, and inconsistent sales.
We're going to speak about marketing systems, and we can't highlight systems enough.
No, we can't. And the importance of a system is kind of like the system, the entirety of a system.
Yeah.
Because you can run 95% of a system, lacking the last 5%. And because you lack the last 5%, you're only getting 20% of the result. So it's important to understand, what is a system? What does the system do?
I believe like most coaches doing less than 10K a month, understand I need to do organic content. I need to do content on my social media.
I need to be visible.
I need to be visible. And a coach who was kind of a beginner, not doing 2-3K a month, but her strategy and only strategy in her marketing was, I do content every day. That was the strategy. Literally, that was the system. But it's not a system. Content is not a system. Content is a part of the system. Without the system, just doing content, because the next question is then what happens when you've done content? Well, then I hope someone will engage. Well, what happens when they engage? Well, I hope I'll have a conversation with them, and I hope they want to buy. So everything is just like hope.
Yeah.
And hope is just not a strategy.
No, and it's so important to emphasize, because there are more than one example, more than 100 examples, more than 1,000 examples out there.
And what is bottom of funnel invite content?
An invite content piece is super straightforward. Like, kind of raise your hand if this is for you. Not that bluntly, but kind of. And bottom of funnel is for people who are ready to buy.
Yeah.
They're nurtured long enough. So if we define it, top of funnel is for new eyes. Like, it's for people who've never...
new people.
People who've never seen you before. Middle of funnel is nurturing sequence. People have seen you but wants to get or needs to get to know you more thoroughly. And then bottom of funnel are for people who are kind of like, I've seen you enough, I'm ready to move forward.
Yeah.
And if you're only making that last part, it's kind of like going to a bar and asking every woman...
You're not growing your following. You just like, please.
Yeah, no, you heard me.
I heard you enough to say it, but I think
going
I
to a
also
bar,
cut you off because it's awesome.
Going to a bar, asking every woman if they want to sleep with you.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is, making bottom of funnel invite content.
And generally, no, it's not a great idea. It's not a great idea in dating, and it's not a great idea in marketing.
And the worst thing that can happen, if I continue that analogy, the worst thing that can happen is that one of the women say yes. Yeah. Because what happens, then I believe that, hey, something is working. I just need to do more of what I'm doing. And then I'm going to ask 200 women today if they want to go home to my place right away.
The problem is, next week, you have a really bad reputation.
Have you seen that guy that always comes in and asks everyone, literally everyone? No, there was a time when it was easier to do that. And that time was 3 years ago, even easier 5 years ago. But today, like, it's not going to fly. No. And we need to understand, what is it that makes content fly? What is it that makes your business attractive to other people?
Yeah. I want to share a case study. In February, 0 revenue, pissed off.
Yeah.
Because he was just testing and doing random stuff.
Yeah.
The next month, March, 3K. April.
But it was good. And I want to add something to that. So February, he said, like, hey, pissed off, I'm not earning any money. Like, what should I do?
Yeah.
And clearly frustrated. But got help.
Yeah.
Started to do things differently. And then you can continue.
Yeah.
March,
3K. April, 6K. May, 15K. June, 30K.
Yeah.
That's a system.
Yes.
And the great thing about having a system is that what we're doing is that we're building something that's repeatable, it's predictable, and we know we're going to grow on it. We know we can only gain for it because we solve one problem at the time. We solve like literally one small problem at the time. Everything is based on data collecting. We understand and we look for data. What is one problem we want to solve this month? Next month, once we believe we solve that, we add the next thing, then we add the next thing, then we add the next thing. That's what he did. Yeah. Which means that now in July, he's going for 50K a month.
Yeah.
So it can go rapidly when we start working systematized with everything we do. And I love that. So let's start going into the 3 steps we want to have in a marketing system.
Yeah.
The first part we're going to do is that we need to make sure that we are doing content. We should definitely, because we're not going to say anything in this episode that you haven't heard before. That's the annoying thing. And I know a lot of people listening to this say, but I already do that. I already do content. So when we are saying you need to do content that builds trust, we need to understand maybe some of the content I'm doing is quite good, but I'm not utilizing the full system. I'm just doing some of the content.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't really work, because content should not be designed to do all the selling. So content is designed to make sure there's awareness about you. They need to know you exist. They need to connect with you.
Yeah.
They need to like you. And they need to trust you. Like, and trust.
And it's the first thing that you learn in any marketing kind of
That's
school.
marketing 101, right?
Yeah.
Know, like, and trust.
You need to build know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
It's always been true. It's a principle, which is if you're lacking any one of them, if you're lacking that they don't know who you are, well, don't worry about them liking you or trust you, because they don't know who you are. But then once they know who you are, they need to start liking you. And then lastly, they need to trust you.
And it doesn't matter if they like you, if they don't trust you, because they can like you and get free coaching in your DM and just love everything you do and then buy with someone else.
Yes, because there is a lack of trust.
Yeah, and authority, trusting your ability to help them.
And then there are 4 different styles of content that you need to make. You need to make a connection content that is designed to help leads connect to you. There is invites that you need to make. So you need to make invite content that is designed for you to giveaways, hand raisers, anything that makes people kind of raise their hand. Invite content, connection content, 2 of the pieces. Then you need to create value content. Value content is designed to give value to your specific avatar. And then the last one is proof content. You need to make sure that you showcase proof, case studies, testimonials, things that proves that it works.
Yeah.
And all of these 4 different types of content, they are designed so that people like you and people trust you.
Yeah.
But there is another layer that is, if this is on the horizontal line, then we have another that is on the vertical line. And you need to create all these 4 different kind of posts or different kind of content. We do this and this instead, because then we have top of funnel, which is for new eyes. We already did this. And then middle of funnel, that is for people who already know you, but needs nurturing, needs more, needs to like touch points. And then bottom of funnel, that is for the people who are nurtured enough so that they're ready to take the next step, move forward, maybe even buy from you on the based on just the content. So we need to make 4 different styles of content on 3 different levels.
Yeah.
And any one of these 4 can be made on any one of these 3 levels.
Yeah. If you're literally just starting up your business, your job is to learn and understand the system. It's to understand what is it that your audience reacts to, get comfortable talking about the different things. Once you have that, once you have your offer out there and you know people want it, then we can start turning it up. But that's also depending on where you're at. If you have a team, like depending on where you're at in your business.
And when we speak to our beginner students, the people who's starting in their coaching business, we're talking about between 3 and 4 posts a week.
Yeah.
Because we need to learn what is it that makes people engage.
Yeah.
What is it that is my style? Because it doesn't matter how much volume you turn up unless you don't have your voice, your style, the way that you approach different problems and how you emphasize the different things. And also you haven't learned enough about your avatar so that you don't know exactly what to speak about on a high enough level for them to start liking and trust you. Maybe like you, but definitely not trust you.
So
we need to get a little bit of skin in the game. Sorry.
Yeah. No. So number of content per week and numbers of platforms grows as your business grow, because it's also natural. You get a team, you outsource, you get other people to work on your behalf. But if you're new and you do everything your own, keep it small and be able to do it well.
Do it well. And emphasis is on well.
Yeah.
Because you can't half-ass it. Sorry, excuse my French, but you can't do that. So we want to make sure that instead of putting out 10 mediocre posts on 4 different platforms or 3 different, even 2 different platforms, let's focus on one platform, making good quality content 4 days a week.
Yeah. Step number 2 in the system. Now we have content creation. Now the second part is nurture like a human being.
Yeah.
I think this is the hardest part, because like most coaches do content and then nothing more. A lot of coaches know that, well, I need to connect with my audience.
Yeah.
But connecting is very, very, very different. How you do it is so crucial.
Yeah, because you can overdo it and end up in the friend zone so that people don't take you seriously.
Yeah.
But you could also do it the other way around so that people look at you and feel like there is no connection at all.
What do we say? I think the problem a lot of people are having is they're so focused on what they want to get out of it. I want to get people on a sales call. I want them to buy. So they go straight to the offer kind of thing. It's just too soon. And again, coming back to the analogy, like you can't at least buy someone a drink before you ask them to go home with you. Take it easy and be human, be interested, be curious about that. So when we are having communication, we can have communication in different places. It could be in your DMs, it can be in your emails, it can be on text message, SMS, WhatsApp, whatever. You can have nurture sequences everywhere. It's just different platforms to use it on. But I think a big mistake people are doing is they treat it like it's an email. So they sign off. So they speak a written language. And that's just not conversational. When we say be human, connect with like a human, you literally need to speak to people like you were in front of them in the room. That's how you just write it down. You would say it if that person was in front of you, because that is so much easier to trust. And then, of course, there's a lot of rules about that. But it needs to be human. It needs to be super simple, short, and direct, conversation-based. Literally just ask straight out like you would do if you met them.
And question control is so important.
Yeah.
Making sure that you facilitate the conversation with questions and you never send more than one question at a time.
Yeah.
Like that's such a pro tip.
Yeah.
Because the moment you send two questions, it builds uncertainty and it stalls the conversation and you put the person on the other end in process because they don't know like how to answer that efficiently. No. If it isn't contextual, and you're putting them into too deep of an answer, the likelihood of them being like, hey, that's a cool question. I'm going to think about it. And then they're going to forget it. And then you lose them. So it's really mastering the question control in a simple, but yet valuable way so that it's easy for them to follow along. Think about it as like a 5-star hotel experience. Yeah. They're talking to you and you're facilitating. When you get into the lobby of a 5-star hotel, you get greeted at the door. When you're checking in, you're probably giving out your passport, your information. They're going to ask you to go and have a seat. They might offer you some tea, some cookies, some biscuit, whatever it is. We want them to feel like it's just flowing. They can just be a part of it. There is no extra effort to it. If you can create that, then you're doing it very, very well.
So you want to find the perfect place where you're not moving too fast, but you're not moving too slow.
Yeah.
And
perfectly whelmed.
Yeah.
Not overwhelmed, not underwhelmed. No. Perfectly.
Because if you don't, they lose trust. Either they ghost you and don't answer you. That's typically when they don't see you as an authority and then they don't think it's interesting to talk to you. Or they ghost you because they feel targeted. Yeah. And then we move into the third part of the system. And the third part of the system is our conversion. And in these times, depending on where you're at, if you are new, I would do conversion one-on-one, invite them into sales calls. But if you're already doing 10, 15, 20K a month, or at least 10K a month, I would say then absolutely you want to do events. So you do the sales process in a like one-to-many setting. So you create conversion events.
Sales events.
Yes.
We've talked a lot about it in the podcast. You're going to be able to see it and hear it again and again. But sales events are different from fulfillment events. Yeah. So we need to build an event that actually converts people and are designed to move people from I don't know what I'm going to get out of participating and go from that place to I can't wait to get like all of it.
Yeah. So the reason we're doing this is that we want to have people spend more time with you in a faster pace. Yeah. Because there is a very important factor here, time on brand. Yeah. What makes people trust you, they need to spend more time with you. And that time, and that's why you're saying that it needs to be a sales event, that it's built up so it moves people to buy and not just move people to become fat and happy and leave again. Which is why we also say we don't run events if you haven't gotten any clients before, because it's hard to build great events if you never had clients and you don't know
If you don't
how
have
to
any
speak to
avatar
them.
awareness, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't know about their specific problems at their current stage and why your
Yeah.
program is the solution. So
Yeah.
the best way to learn is to do individual calls with people.
Yeah.
And then transcribe those calls and then feed it into like when you have 10 of them, you're going to be able to differentiate what is it that is the most common problem of the people that I meet.
Yeah.
That I deem is a good fit for my program.
And it needs to be 10 people who actually bought your program, because those are the people who are actually willing to buy your thing. So those are the valid ones. So if you never sold anything, don't start running events. It's too early.
Yeah.
Start by selling one-to-one. It's easier to sell one-to-one than selling one-to-many. Running events is for you being able to grow faster, not to get your first clients. The reason we're doing this is literally we want to have people consume you and your content in a faster pace. Having them on one event, it's equals to having them literally seeing months of content because you get more time. And if you are doing events, like there's a lot of events, you can do workshops in a couple of hours, you can do master classes, you can do challenges, you can do webinars, live trainings. There's so many ways to do it. And you can do it from like an hour, 90 minutes, but you can also do it up to several days and have even more time with them. The more time you spend with people, the more ready they become to buy. So finding the right event depends on, again, where you are, your expertise, your niche and stuff like that.
And also your target markets.
Yeah.
The higher level avatar tends to want to spend less time before making a purchasing decision. So you could translate that to a little bit arrogant, but you could translate it to kind of the higher the price point, the shorter the event.
Yeah.
So if you're selling something for 20,000 euros, that target market does not want to spend days with you. So if you say, hey, hang out with me for 7 days, then they're not going to come because they're efficient. They want the best.
They pay money to save time.
Yeah, they know they want the best and they want it efficiently.
Yeah.
Meaning that if you have that target market, if you have that avatar, and if those are the
you know
people
you already
at your
sell
event.
to them.
But when we're looking at it, if you have a room full of people that wants to pay to save time, then a 90-minute webinar is way more efficient than a 3-day workshop.
Yeah.
If you're working with beginners, people who are a little bit uncertain, that needs more time to kind of get used to the flow and kind of see what happens when I actually spend a couple of days implementing this, well, then a 3-day workshop is awesome. 5 days, even better sometimes.
The 3 parts we want to do is make content, nurture people, and then having conversion events.
Yeah.
And do that again and again and again and again and again.
And also expect yourself to become better.
Yeah.
Expect yourself to become better, which means that as long as you're following a system, as long as you understand what you're doing, as long as you're collecting data, and then you refine and make it better based on data, then you're in a really, really good place. Very, very good money in your coaching business in the market of 2026.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think if a key thing here is, first of all, solve a big problem for your avatar.
Yeah.
And have one very clear signature thing that you do. So instead of doing new events all the time, have one thing that you become really good at.
Yes.
Because that is the key about becoming really good. It's not starting over every month.
Yeah, and if you've ever seen a world-class artist at a concert, even if they've been around forever, notice that the same song is produced the same way every time.
But Tony Robbins...
Yeah,
he's been doing this for almost 50 years. He's literally been doing UPW, I think it's more than 60 times.
Yeah.
And it's word by word the same things he do every single event.
It's so indoctrinated into his system that it's kind of like a script. He pushes a button and he's ready. He knows exactly what to say in what sequence of order and all of it.
What words, where does he stand, what tone of voice, everything is just a design that he never changed the event. And I know a lot of coaches believe that, but I need to feel that it's something new. I get bored. Yeah. Well, look at Tony Robbins. If you need to decide, are you running the business to not get bored, or do you want to have a business that is easy for you to scale?
If you're that kind of personality, then start doing 50 different sports so that you can get that.
Have a hobby.
Yeah, you can, so that you can get that sense of variety somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing, if you feel like I need to design my business like this to feel happy, you're making it impossible for yourself to grow. And it's also a lie. You don't need your business to be different every time.
Yeah.
You have a need for variety, and you can create variety somewhere else so that you don't need to force variety into your business. Very important distinction.
So if it is so that you want help to set up the full system into your business, just go into our Instagram and send a DM us the word help. And we will have a chat with you to understand what's working right now and what's not working in your business, so we can actually find out what is the right steps to implement into your business, so you start seeing the same growth as Ronnie and everyone else.
Yeah, and like it might sound like a lot, it isn't. It's literally like a week of study to understand what goes where. Then it's a lifetime of perfecting it in your business.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to see results like in 30 days, and then those results grow and then grow and grow, and your life is going to be different. So don't make the mistake feeling or thinking that it's too much. It really isn't. It's just caring for your business at a new professional level. If you've loved this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you know someone that needs to hear this, then share this episode to that person, and we'll see you in a new episode.
See you guys next week.